What's up, everybody? This is episode number 200 of the Untame the Wild Soul podcast. I am so excited to be sharing this with you, whether you have been along for the ride for all 200 episodes, or this is the very first time that you have ever listened to the podcast. Thank you so much for being here. This is a big milestone for us. And stay tuned. At the end, I'm going to share with you how we're going to celebrate episode number 200 this week, and some of you will be super jazzed about it. So if you are new to the podcast, or if this is your first Sunday sermon, these are shorter solo episodes, just 10 to 20 minutes, where I do things like oracle readings, share my favorite prayers, poems, or excerpts from what I'm reading. These are like wild and untamed gospel, heart ponderings, and delicious morsels of wisdom to spark your own truth, power, and love from my wild soul to yours. And in these episodes, I explore creative and inspiring ideas, thoughts, and ruminations for you to be nourished and fed by going into your week. Or, whenever it is that you happen to listen to them. Although many of you have told me you do listen to them on Sundays as a ritual, which is awesome. And, as a person who was raised with religion, another inspiration to create these sermons was to provide a Sunday ritual that's more aligned with my current and ever-evolving spirituality and worldviews. That said, all belief systems are always welcome here on the show. My truth, ponderings, and curiosities are simply that, my own. So no matter what your faith is, may you get exactly what you need from listening to this. And may you remember always that everything you've ever needed has always been inside of you. You are made of love, you are from love, and you are loved. So today we're talking about how it's okay to be on the way. And here's what I mean by that. When I type an address into Google Maps on my phone, there is never a question of whether or not I'll arrive at my destination. I just press go or start or whatever it says, and I'm on my way. Do I hit traffic sometimes? Is there a detour sometimes? Do I sometimes decide to stop along the way to do something else before finishing out my journey? Yes, often. What I never do, though, is spend the whole time questioning whether or not I'm going to get there, because I know I'm going to get there. This is how I treat my goals and dreams as well, which I know is not the case for some people. Now, it's not as easy to plug my goals and dreams into an app, get a few suggestions for direct routes to my final destination, or even an approximation of how long it's going to take. But what I have in place instead of all of that is trust. I just have to keep going and not question whether or not I'll get there. I just have to know that eventually I'm going to get there. Now, there may not look exactly as I thought it would. So I approach that by loosening up my attachments and my expectations around the specifics, and I let life guide me in the mysterious way that she does. Because when something is meant for us, we cannot miss out on it. So again, we just have to keep going. So earlier this week, I was scheduling a friend to come on the podcast for an interview, and she lives here in LA as well, and she asked if we should record it in person. And I told her no, because of how we produce the podcast, it actually makes more sense to record it on Skype. And I shared that one of my not too distant goals is to hire a video production team and upgrade some of our production. Now, I have all kinds of ideas for short snippets, fun YouTube segments, and more, but I'm not quite there yet, and that is okay. And I used to feel ashamed about myself when I wasn't in a place yet to make the kinds of investments in my business I saw some of my peers making. And the truth is, I was way off base because I was comparing myself to people in much different circumstances than I was in. People who had been in business for far longer, who had larger budgets to work with, and who had both support and some skill sets I didn't have. Now, in this example, I'm talking about my business, but I'm sure you can relate this in your own life to whatever are the things that you compare yourself to other people around. So I want to be clear. I'm not inviting you to be complacent. I'm inviting you to totally accept yourself, to totally trust yourself, to trust life, to trust in your goals and your dreams, and to trust in the wisdom of your wild soul, to trust in your gigantic heart that knows the vastness of what you are meant for. So recently I was at a gathering and I was talking to a woman who was 29 years old, about to turn 30. And I told her turning 30 was one of my favorite birthdays ever. Often on your birthday, people ask if you feel different, and I never usually do. But when I turned 30, I definitely felt different. So she was saying that she was looking forward to it because she'd heard from some friends that the 30s are awesome. But she was also reluctant because she had so many things she thought that she would have accomplished right by now, which I can totally relate to. There were many things I thought would have been lined up in my life when I turned 30 as well that weren't quite yet. And she described the feeling of approaching the milestone birthday as, no, not yet. I need more time. So for anyone feeling like you need more time or that you're behind, that you should be somewhere already that you're not yet, I want to offer this as a closing thought. You don't need more time. You just need more patience. David Allen says, patience is the calm acceptance that things can happen in a different order than the one you have in mind. And it's such a beautiful truth, and something I say all the time, but especially in these sermons, is I always want to remind you that my truth is not the truth, but I think this is pretty close to being a universal truth. I think it's something that really benefits most, if not all people, to be more patient with ourselves, to be kinder, to be more gentle, to honor whatever the journey is that you're on while you're on it, and to also see the benefits and the value of being in process or in progress or mid-journey to being on the way. So I also want to give a reframe on this because energetically, I think there's a difference between saying I'm on my way and saying I'm not there yet. Not there yet really feels defeatist. It feels like there's something wrong. And I think it opens up the gateway to judgment or being critical of ourselves. Whereas being on the way opens up the gateway for possibility, for curiosity, for opportunities, for plot twists. And I'll come back to that idea in a moment. And it also opens up the way for being available for better experiences. So coming back to the plot twist idea for a moment, many podcasts ago, I think it was episode, might be number 83, but we'll put it in the show notes. This episode is going to be at untameyourself.com/episode-200 for 200. Still pretty excited about that. And my friend Lisa Berkovitz and I were talking about this, how, most things in life, it's not a direct path from A to Z. Sometimes it's not even a direct path from A to B. There's twists and turns along the way. Sometimes point B is different than you thought it would be, which sends you on a different path to a point C that you hadn't even anticipated. And it's these plot twists that really are, the juiciness, the mystery, the magic, the miracle of life. We cannot control everything. We cannot write the scripts and have them unfold exactly the way that we wanted to. And whatever it is that you believe in, whether it's a divine destiny, you believe that everything is preordained, maybe you believe in multiple universes overlapping in time, numerous realities are taking place. Or if you've ever seen the movie Wayne's World, at the end when they do all the different alternate endings, maybe you believe that there's a Scooby-Doo ending. Who knows? But it's cool to allow yourself, and it's kind to allow yourself to be in acceptance of wherever you are and continuously remind yourself that you're on your way to wherever it is that you want to be or that you want to go. So I hope that was really useful for you today. And coming back to what I said in the beginning of the episode, I mentioned that we're celebrating the 200 episode milestone, and here's how we're going to do that. If you're listening to this in real time, tomorrow's guest tomorrow being October 16th, 2017, is Sonia Renee Taylor. It's episode number 201. Sonia is the founder of a website called The Body Is Not an Apology. It is an incredible site, and their mission is to bring radical self-love to everybody and every body. Wild Soul Movement is a patron of that site. We donate $99 a month since they run it for free. And this week I want to show them some extra love. And so what we're doing is we're taking $50 off of our Wild Soul Toolkit, and we're going to donate 50% of those sales to The Body Is Not an Apology. So Sonia does not listen to this podcast. She won't know what we're up to. Next week, when I have the total, I'll surprise her with an extra deposit in her PayPal account. So visit wildsoulmovement.com/toolkit if you would like to contribute to this initiative. You can save $50 on your toolkit, contribute to one of the best sites on the whole internet for intersectional feminism, social justice, radical self-love, and body positivity. And again, that website is thebodyisnotanapology.com. So have a beautiful week. I'm sending you tons of love, powerful energy, and grace to enjoy whatever journey you're on at the moment. May it be filled with miracles, pleasant surprises, the kind of challenges that grow you, not break you, and for the love of all that is holy, some freaking fun while you're at it. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you later.